November soybeans closed marginally higher after being down a fairly significant amount earlier in the day. They were up in a pretty big way on Wednesday, and early in the day on Thursday, soybeans had taken back a good chunk of those gains, but then recovered to close slightly positive on the day. That was 17 and a quarter off the low. Soybeans are now getting a little bit overbought. It's 71% on the relative strength index. That is not a extreme case of being overbought. 70% is sort of that threshold where we get into that overbought territory, but it is in that territory now. It's also at the high end of the trend channel that it's been in. Soybeans have been in an upward trend channel since the first trading day of January. So it is getting close to that very key resistance level. So we'll have to watch how those two play out going forward. In the meantime, from a fundamental standpoint, weather and China trade are the main focus of the market. Chinese soybean sales, we've seen daily flash sales. Didn't get one on Thursday morning, but saw one earlier in the week of over 300,000 metric tons. That continues to be a very large interest of the market. They are our biggest trading partner when it comes to soybeans. And when I put all the numbers together between explicit sales to China and what I look at in unknown destinations and figure some of that's going to be China as well, I'd say that China has now bought between 8.5 and 10.5 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans. That is a good start for that 25 million metric tons that had been agreed upon last October. And, this is for the next marketing season that starts next week. So this is even before we get into the marketing year. This is the typical time that they are buying those. So it's a good pace for them. That's about the most that I'll say about that right now. And the other thing that we're looking at is weather and the crop size. Some areas that needed to sort of dry out after a whole lot of rain recently are getting some warmer, drier conditions. But we're also hearing about some disease issues popping up here lately. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Weekly export sales were within expectations, which is to say they were really good. Old crop was only 74,000 metric tons. But like I said, the marketing year is ending now. Expectations were for negative 200 to 200. The new crop sales is what we're looking at. They were really good at 2.478 million metric tons, just under 2.5 million metric tons. We were expecting a big number though, because we had seen 1.7 million in flash sales. And by the way, China was a little over 1 million of that. Unknown destinations was a little over 1 million of that. And the range of guesses was 1.5 to 3 million. Really good sales week for soybeans, but expected. Lots going on in the soybean market. Everybody, you stay tuned, you stay safe.